Right, there we go. Right, so I'm recording it now for everybody. So I looked to Tracy today for a little bit of inspiration on this because I suddenly had a little mind blank, and I was like, okay, how do we recruit distributors? Because I've got a lady who I've got to ring back on the 25th of January, but the last person who I got to fill in a distributor form told me to wait a couple of days while she transferred the money, and then ignored every message that I sent her afterwards. So my confidence was feeling a little bit low, to be honest with you. I was like, actually, I don't think I've signed a distributor for like about 5 or 6 weeks, which doesn't seem a lot, but I was like, oh my God, I like to do at least one a month. I like to sign at least one a month. So I spoke to Tracy, and she came out with this line, which was just, why would they not? And I think it sums it up really, really nicely. So I decided that's what I was going to call it. And as we were talking about it, so it's like how to recruit. And I think it's all about a mindset. And so I think we should say, or should I say, how do we help people change their lives and earn money? Okay, and that's going to be the general gist of it, is how do we get ourselves in the right mindset? Because I think that is really all that it is. So as I keep banging on about time and time again, is your consistency. And when I was thinking about the last couple of people that I signed, so the girl who I've got her number, I'm going to call her back on the 25th of January, and fingers crossed this salon from Manchester decides to sign. But I've been speaking to her for 6 months. I've been adding her to the online parties for 6 months. She's been on my group for 6 months. I message her every time there's an offer. And the other lady is Janine, who's on the call, who's been watching for 2 years. So I think there's definitely a key here in that if you're consistent on, and you have to do it across a number of different areas. So, your business page, your personal profile, and I think your groups are really important. And just consistently be talking about the business. But, we don't want your newsfeed looking like an ad reel. Okay. So, yes, I don't want you to go away from this call thinking that you shouldn't be using any of the more ad type posts, because obviously you should. Because we want to have the posts where we're saying join the team, and we want the posts saying if you join my 90-day challenge and all those types of things. But it's really, really important that we mix that up with obviously making sure that who you are as a person shines through more so than those posts on your newsfeed and in your group as well. Make sure that you're putting little funny posts up in your group. Let people get to know who you are and your personality, because you are the brand. And if somebody is thinking to themselves about earning a bit of extra money, or they might be thinking of doing something else, or they might even be trying, even if it's just trying the product, they are going to do that with somebody who is excited about the product, excited about the opportunity, and is consistent. Because if they see you talking about it all the time, then they know that this thing's real and that it's working. And even if you're like 6 months, 12 months in and you've not promoted, if you are still earning wrap cash from this business, you are in a position that a lot of people would want to be in, where they're earning a bit of extra money from doing something part-time. So don't ever underestimate your wrap cash and what those little things do. But we always talk about the business being about fun, friendship, and freedom. Okay, so fun is lots of things. I like to think that we can have fun, watching my husband in his Superman dressing gown, the training fun. When I chat on the phone to you guys, or when I meet up with you guys, or when you meet up with your team, or you're doing even just messages chats. You're having fun because you're getting friendships with people. So if you're catching up with somebody over a coffee, then post about it. If you're, chatting on the phone to somebody, post about it. You'll see I do that a lot. If I meet anybody, if I'm, I've got pictures of me with Shelley Madison Clark and her kids, pictures of me and Dawn at the Derby Night Market. If ever I'm anywhere with any of you guys, then, it's just a picture or a status. The people you meet and the friends you make are also obviously really key. So, some of the best friends I've got are in this business. And it's a huge part of it. Now, there might be people out there who are mums that are at home, and actually they might be comfortable. Don't get me wrong, the Wrap Cash might be a nice thing for them and the money might be a nice thing for them, but actually they might just need money. And the community that the Wraps offer is a huge point that draws a lot of people in, that you will get people in saying, they wanted to be part of something. People like to be part of something. When you've had children, because your friendships change quite a lot. So if you've had children and your friends haven't, or or maybe or your friends have had kids and you haven't, then either way, it may well be that friendship circle's changing. So that's really important. And also, that's about the support as well. So if you're posting things like when me and Janine, I posted about chatting to Janine, and Jean, I tagged her in that, and Janine commented saying about how, she gets great support, which is lovely, but her friends will see that, and people will see that, and then they think, well, that's nice that somebody is taking the time out in their evening to chat to you, and the support is there, so hopefully that's something that you can shout about. And then the freedom as well. So, we're having fun, we're making friends, and it's the freedom. So if you're able to do things, so Yelly had a great status today about how she, being for lunch and everything, and the freedom that this opportunity is giving her. If you're at home with kids, or maybe not achieved that yet, but you're working towards it, that's still appealing to people. Don't feel like you have to be this, triple presidential ambassador, whatever, leader, to talk about the freedom that the business offers you, or these things, because actually a lot of the time people will see statuses, say from me, and think, oh, as if you're ever going to be in that position where it's paying all of your bills and you don't have to work. Whereas if you're posting things about how it's enabled you to go for dinner and all the rest of it, that's actually a lot more realistic to people, and actually a lot more appealing a lot of the time. So don't underestimate it. You need a bit of both with regards to what you're putting out there. But as I say, the freedom is huge. So they're the key things that we're offering as a business. So if you're chatting about these things, I know that Lisa Raybould told me that she'd been out and bought Christmas presents with Wrap Cash, and it was a really lovely feeling that she'd not had to touch the bank account. And I think Lisa Stott on the call did the same thing. She had a similar sort of thing. So they're really they're really key things. I love Wrap Cash. I love it when I get Wrap Cash in and the kids get a bill at the school of going to a school play, and I can just get it out of my Wrap Cash. It's brilliant. So those are things to talk about. So that's obviously something that we talk about a lot. So that's one of the key things. But that's obviously just from a social media perspective. And as you're aware, I'm building on the Instagram at the moment, and I'm trying to get my Instagram where it's feeling very similar. I'm not tending to post so much about the children on Instagram because I am following a lot of people. So I've got I have no idea who's a lot of the people that I'm following. So I don't put a lot about the kids on there, as in pictures of them. I've, not as much as I do on Facebook. I'm quite open on Facebook, but with Instagram, I'm tending to focus it more on the business side of things. Bit of motivation. I'll put photos of me on there because I'm not bothered about that, but not tending to do that so much. But yeah, so that's all that. So with regards to, so you're doing all of that, okay, so you've got your consistency, that's cracking off. You will see a difference when you do that. So Dawn on the call in particular, I know that since Dawn and Dawn's Facebook now is like a dream to watch. It's just a little dream. And Dawn really, I hope you don't mind me saying, Dawn, but you really struggled at first with what to say, and you just, I don't know what to put on statuses. And but if you watch Dawn now, Dawn's putting the most amazing little pictures on there of, was it a mouse today that was on an adventure?
I think the mouse was yesterday, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? I stole it and used it today.
Yeah, stealing stuff, yeah.
But it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant and you've now really started to notice that, because you've got people joining your team and people joining as loyal customers. And that's pretty consistent, isn't it, really, that you've got those inquiries now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's brilliant. So once you've got that in place, follow-ups are absolutely crucial. Keeping in regular contact with people. Even if they don't reply to you, don't be scared. If they haven't come back and said no, they might just not have seen it. I have a lot of messages that I don't necessarily reply to straight away, or because you get quite a lot. So keep in regular contact with them. If you get offers, if you want to wish them Happy New Year, you might want to get in touch with them in the next few weeks. I would definitely say you're coming up to paydays now in January. So I was talking to Tracy about this, and I was saying that even though Neil is weekly paid, he got paid just before Christmas, and he doesn't get paid now till this Friday. So there's a lot of people that haven't been paid yet, and once they get that pay, they'll be like, what am I spending it on? They will. So keep in contact with them. Make sure that you're messaging them now. Building a relationship with them. So you just want to be chatting to people. If you're on Facebook, then I don't like to spend a lot of time scrolling through my Facebook, but I do try and like and comment on people's posts, just because a lot of times what you can do is if you've liked something and they see your name pop up, it might just remind them. And plus, it's a nice thing to do. We all like getting likes and comments on things. So it just shows you're a real person, and that you've got, that you're building that relationship. Being patient is obviously key. As I said, Janine, it was 2 years that we were talking. And I genuinely didn't ever give up. I knew that she'd come, and we just were chatting, and she was on the team page for the whole 2 years, watching what was cracking off, and every so often she'd pop up and say hello. So that is key. Right, so next thing is using 3-way calls with your uplines. Okay, so this again is something that we've done with Dawn, and we did it with Karen, didn't we, Dawn?
Good, yeah.
You did it with me as well at the beginning.
Yeah, it really does help, and it doesn't need to be me that does it. You can do it with anybody. But what tends to happen is if you use a 3-way call, okay, then if you've been chatting to somebody, then you might not feel comfortable saying those little words that just go, so are you going to do it then? And it's not in a pushy way, but you just ask, are you going to do it then? And I think that's all it was with Karen, wasn't it? It was just it was probably just me on the call. So Dawn did a lot of the talking, I did some of the talking. But you'll find that the third person is a little bit braver. And that's sometimes all it takes, because the person wants to be asked. They really do want to be asked. Use the online parties. So again, the girl that I'm hopefully signing on the 25th of January, I've been inviting her every single week to the online parties because she's a prospect. She's never commented, she's never thing, but she's obviously been watching, and she knows I'm there in the background, and she knows I'm still doing it. And that's really important, because within network marketing, obviously, and within anything, within any business really, people come and go. And if you're going to join somebody's team, then you want to believe that they're committed. So that's the other thing on, when you run your social media and you're generally chatting about it, and you saying that you've been on a team training call, and you're saying that you've spoken to somebody in your team or your upline, because then people see your commitment. And, if you're going to join a business, you want to know that you're going to get support. So if they're watching you, then they want to know that you're committed to it and that you're going to help them. Because like all of us, it's probably the first time that they've ever done anything like this. So everybody's really nervous because they think, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. So they want somebody who, can guide them a little bit. When we say make it your everyday life, I think that's just about, when you're out and about, just talk about it naturally. I know Lisa, bless her, does fashion shows and everything, and she's always saying to me, "Oh, I'm definitely going to be mentioning them," and it's just something that she does all the time now. It's just part of her conversation, and because she's talking about on Facebook, people are going to ask her about it as well. Keeping an open mind. So this is obviously key when you're writing your hundreds list. Okay. So don't judge anybody. If somebody had looked at me, they'd have seen a mum of 2 children who was working a marketing manager's role. And at that time, I'd obviously got my Forever business as well. So with regards to this business, I would have been a complete write-off. I'd have been somebody that you'd have said, there's no way she's working, full-time hours in 4 days with 2 children and another business on the side. Don't judge. They probably have thought, well, she's working full-time in a corporate business. She's worked there for 13 years. She's really happy in a job, or she's really, she's got the salary that she requires and all these different things. And none of those things were true. I hated it. It wasn't paying me enough money. Despite it being a really good job, it just wasn't fulfilling any of the things that it needed to. So don't rule anybody out, because you don't ever know. And energy. So Sven tagged me in a nice little post earlier this week about energy. And I think it is really, really true, because the energy that you portray about the business and how excited you are and what you believe is going to happen with it, it plays a massive part in people being attracted to you. Because I think Pam said it on the call that, you're not attracted to somebody who's sitting down. And you're just not. You want somebody who's out there and has got that energy about them. So going back to why would they not? Key tip is not to give them your website to do it themselves. That goes for loyals, that goes for distributors, that goes for retail customers. Personally, I don't. Very, very rarely would I say to a customer, here's my website. I would always ask them for their information. And if it's a distributor, I would always take their details. I can remember when I signed, obviously my upline was in the US, and bless her, she insisted on doing a Skype and taking my information and putting it into the computer. And at the time, I just thought she was being a little bit anal, to be honest with you. And she was brilliant, because she said, oh, I've never done anybody in the UK before. I want to make sure it all goes smoothly through for you. Not at all. She wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to make an excuse up at home and think, oh, no, I've not got time to go onto that website. So she made sure that my details were input and that I was signed. So she closed me completely. And I didn't feel pressurised at all. And I genuinely felt like she was doing me a massive favour. And she was, because, you know, it's a lot easier to let somebody help you do it, but proposed me properly, basically. And then the other thing that Tracy and I were chatting about is your belief in the opportunity. And what can happen is you start out all really excited, and then you get 3 to 6 months in, not hit diamond, and you can start to think to yourself, okay, so what's going on here? And even though you're still there and you're still wanting it and you're still doing it, you might just be lacking a little bit of belief, okay? And you shouldn't, because if you're making money, whether that's wrap cash, it doesn't matter if your commissions are £10, it doesn't matter. You know the system works because you put loyal customers in and you get money. It doesn't matter how much money that is. All it means is that you've got to duplicate it and teach other people to duplicate it for it to get more. So you've always just got to keep that in the back of your mind, that when you sell a wrap, you make money. So when you're saying to somebody and you're chatting to them, I know when I'm sat in a room with somebody who I'm thinking, you know, potentially a distributor, there's no doubt in my mind that if they work this business, that they can succeed. Now, obviously, a lot of people don't work it, and a lot of people, you know, don't follow the tasks. But if you do, it works. So if you go in with that sort of mindset, then it is a why would they not? Why would they not join you? Because got the opportunity, they need to earn extra money, and you've got an opportunity for them to do it. And I think when you've got that in your head, it just transforms things. It really does. And when you're having that conversation with somebody, when you're messaging them, you know it's real. That it's real. It's an opportunity. It's real. The money is real. Yes, the money you earn is dependent on how many wraps you sell and how many people you get on board. But that comes. It really does. It comes. And you know that the bigger opportunity is real, because you know that there's people in the team, you know, that have gone on and succeeded and done it. So you know it's there. You know it's real. And then I think the other key thing is, and not the case for everybody, but for some people it can be, they get a little bit nervous about recruiting somebody, because all of a sudden they're going to have to show somebody else how to do it. So they could get a little bit nervous and think, well, actually, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing myself yet. How am I going to show somebody else? But that's why we're a team. So it doesn't matter. So you don't need to worry about that. If you don't know something, you know full well that you've got an army of us out there that do know it and that can help. And it doesn't even matter if that person, so I've seen it so much on the team page just recently, where people are posting questions and it's sidelines that are answering the questions for them. It's not their upline, or it's not, you know, their downline or whatever. It's the sidelines, because we're working really, really well as a community at the moment. So you don't need to have that concern. So when you're talking to people, you know the opportunity is real because you've earned money yourself. And as I say, that doesn't matter. All you have to have done is sold one wrap and you've earned money. So that just keep that in your mind. And you know that even if you don't know the answer to something, there's somebody that does. So don't be afraid to just say, let's do it. Let's get you on board. And, you know, you'll find your own way of saying that. And that's it, really. So then I've got a list of places that you can obviously find leads. But I wanted to have a chat. So we've got, who've we got on? I know is Joe still with us? Joe's with us, yeah. So
I'm with you.
Joe and Yelly, actually. Yelly's muted though, so I don't know if she'll mute herself. But you've signed a distributor this week, Jo, who's received a pat today.
I have.
So I wondered if you'd share with us, how that happens, because I think sometimes it's just little anecdotes and tips that you hear from other people that can help things click.
Well, I feel a bit of a fraud, really, because it was my daughter that did it for me, to be fair.
Yeah, that's not a fraud. It's still, because that still helps.
How you do it. But no, what it is I've met this young girl quite a few times, and it's my daughter and her boyfriend. It's a couple that they know really well, and while we was on holiday over the Christmas period, my daughter was entertaining, and they came around for something to eat, and there was things just about. Obviously, in my everyday life, there's wraps on the kitchen table, and there's this and there's that. And she just said, "What's all this about?" So Ellis told her everything what it was all about, and she said, "Oh, I'm looking for something. She's getting married in the summer, so she needs a bit of extra money, and she needs this and she needs that." She's a hairdresser and a beautician. She's qualified in both, and she wants to add it to her business. So it looks really good.
Oh, bless.
I know. So I'm quite excited.
It just goes to show, doesn't it, that it's the randomness there, but also the fact that your daughter knew all about it, and that's because you're so passionate about it that you've passed that on to her.
Oh yeah, Alice knew everything. She knew all that needed to be.
Yeah.
To be fair. Yeah, so she knew everything, and she just said, this, that, and the other. And yeah, we just went from there, and she's really excited about it.
Yeah, she looks it. It's brilliant.
She's in an area that I don't know. She's in an area where I'm not sure if anybody else does it in that area. I've not heard of anybody anyway. So that's another exciting thing. If hopefully she's got a nice new patch.
Yeah.
To be working on. But yeah, she's a really nice girl as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's many over there. It's Rutland that way. So I've not heard of anyone else over there.
No, well, it's like when I was saying about there being 3 of us in Burton, and there's 70,000 people in Burton, so and Leicester's even bigger. You're a city.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, she's signed up and ready.
So that really is just a sign that that's just everyday life, isn't it? As we were saying, that the wraps are part of your everyday life, so they're everywhere.
It's not just, yes, they are everywhere. I've got my bits on the fridge telling me this and stuff on the table. But yeah, they're everywhere. Even one of the stylists at my salon, she said, "I've got a bone to pick with you because we keep all our handbags in the same place, obviously." And I got a handful of Blitz cards, and I put them in the wrong bag, obviously. I didn't do it on purpose. And she said, "They're all over Christmas. I've been handing these out for you."
Oh, that's brilliant.
She said, "I've been, what do you call it? Giving them out. What do you call it?" She said, "Leafleting." She said, "That's what I've been doing. I've been leafleting for you."
Oh, bless.
I said, "We call it blitzing." I said, "It's the same thing, Caroline. So thank you for that."
Oh, that's really good. Who knows what will come from that?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And Yelly as well. Yelly is on fire with her statuses at the minute.
She is. She's definitely.
I'm loving the entries one.
Thanks. I thought you did. I copied it. I thought, oh, I copied it. I must be doing something right.
I was on the phone to Tracy at the time. We were chatting about this thing, and I said, "Have you seen Yelly's status?" And she said, "What?" And I went, "Oh, it's all about entries into and helping her get to diamond." I said, "I'm stealing that." I said, "I'm having that one." No, it was brilliant. But you've obviously got a young lady that signed today.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting her to. She literally messaged me yesterday morning when I was at work, saying, "Hi, I want to do something new this year. What is it?" I was like, what's she on about? I haven't got a clue what she's on about. And then I thought, oh, I'll go on my page and see what I've done. And I'd Hootsuited a post, like a status, saying
Yeah.
about trying something new. So I didn't even know what I'd posted. So I had to go on and have a read of it.
Yeah.
And then I read it and I was like, all right, okay. So I just said it like, it's just about selling these wraps to your friends and your family. And that was all, because I wasn't sure that if she would be interested or not.
Yeah.
Because I've never messaged her about it before, nothing. And I've only recently added her in the last month. But she used to work at the place that I used to work at
Yeah.
when I literally first joined the wraps. And I wasn't happy then. And she's obviously not very happy now or whatever. But she messaged me saying, oh, great, that sounds really good. I want to try something new this year. So I was like, oh, great, that's really good. And then just put something like, I could meet you one day if you wanted and we could grab a coffee or something, like trying to make it kind of casual. And she was like, yeah, wicked, I'd love to chat to you as I'm interested. And she was like, yeah, definitely, I want to try something new. Let me know when you're free. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to jump on board now. So are you free tomorrow? She was like, yeah, I'm meeting in town. So I met her this morning at 11. We went for a coffee and we were just talking about, obviously, work now and her work because she's still at the same place.
Yeah.
And when she was speaking to me, all I could see was me. That's all I could see, that she was not happy. She was getting no benefits, no nothing. And when I was there, like, I felt a bit guilty because I was like, yeah, I'm really happy. You know, I'm doing really well, thanks.
Yeah.
I felt a bit guilty, but I told her everything about it, just basic terms. This is the wrap, this is what it does, this is how you can work the business. You can do wrap cash, you can do commissions, whatever you want. And kept it kind of simple for her. And she was like, all right. So she left and she was like, I'm definitely interested, but I want to see if I can sell a couple of the wraps before I actually join.
Yeah.
I was like, brilliant, fantastic. And I said, well, I already know 3 people that were definitely interested from like the work before that she's still there at.
Yeah.
I said, try and get them on board. Sell your single wraps to them and they'll be loyal straight away. And one of them's a mother and daughter. So I said, try and get them together and then get the other person. So you'll have 2 loyals, you'll have sold 3 wraps. And she's like, oh, well, my sister and my mum might be interested too.
Yeah.
So literally an hour and a half later, she texted me saying, oh, yeah, I think I've sold those wraps. Can we sign up? So literally I rang her up and she signed up, bless her.
Oh my
So I'm
God.
quite excited for it, but she seems really excited. So it's really, really good.
It is.
That's good.
But do you know what? How lovely, because you said you had that moment where you realised how it had changed
Yeah.
you.
It's a bit weird because, like I said to Tracy, I can't think of one person off the top of my head that I know well-ish from the wraps that doesn't have kids.
Yeah, no, I know.
And it's always about kids or getting out of debt, or I don't have debt and I don't have kids and whatever else. And the cash is nice for like treats and whatever, but I could never really tell what my kind of purpose for the wraps was.
Yeah.
And then after I met up with her, I went into River Island because that's where I worked before then.
Yeah.
And I worked there for 2 years, but it was just so mundane. It was just the same thing every day, but it was easy cash. And I spoke to the lad there and he's worked there for 14 years. And he said to me, every single year I keep telling myself I'm going to go, and then I don't. It's just easy and blah, blah, blah. And I was there like, yeah, I'm really happy I'm doing this and doing that. So because I think I'd told 2 of like my old jobs and stuff, and I could see how like upset and bored they were with their life, I thought to myself, do you know what? This is the first time I've actually ever been happy in a job.
Yeah.
It's actually really, really good. And I thought to myself, well, yeah, that's obviously my thing then. That it has like given me freedom and whatever else. So it's quite good really, because I felt a bit guilty that they were all sad and I'm like, haha, I'm happy.
Yeah, but you don't have to feel guilty because you're helping them. Well, you're helping them anyway. You'll have to eventually help the guy.
Yeah, that's what I said.
14 years, can he, poor man? You go back in another 2 years and he's still stood there.
He probably will be there till he's old and grey.
Oh no. No, it is. It's great. It is great. And I think like you say, I didn't know, even though I'd got the boys, I didn't know what my why was at first. My why was very, very different. It was that I wanted to, I didn't want to work longer hours. So I thought if I left Cause, which I obviously was hating at that point in time, but if I left there, then the only other way of me getting like that sort of salary was to work longer hours. So I was going to have to commute because I was in marketing and there's nothing like that in Burton. So I'd have to commute, and the chances are that, you know, I wasn't going to be able to go, even though like I did full-time hours. So they weren't going to let me do that in 4 days. So I suddenly realised that for me to actually leave, I would have to be away from the kids for longer. So it's really weird because at first it wasn't about me spending more time with them. It was about me not spending less time with them. And it was only after about 6 months that I realised it was actually quite nice doing the school run. And that it was actually, I quite like this working from home malarkey. And I actually get to spend a bit more time with Louis. Actually, I quite like that. And it didn't really dawn on me. And I don't know, I look back now and think, God, was I just some awful mother that never really, but I just think I was so set in corporate world and what my mindset was that I'd never really thought there was an alternative. And I know still that the people that work there, they don't see that there's an alternative to getting up and leaving the kids in childcare. It just doesn't dawn on them at all. So but I think once you've found that why, and you've realised what it really is, because the thing is, like I say, at first it's probably just a little bit of extra cash, and then you suddenly realise, well, actually, it gives me a bit more than that, and then that's when it gets quite powerful. And your happiness is quite clear, Yelly. You've clearly turned a huge corner in the business. You know, you were always really, I'm not saying you weren't good at it before, because I don't want that to come across, because that's not the case, but your passion for it just seems to have increased so much, and that's evident. And I think that's why that's the energy that you're putting out there, and I think that's what you're going to get back.
Well, I got the girl from the clothes show to sign up as a loyal tonight as well.
Okay.
Eventually.
It's perseverance. It is perseverance.
Yeah. And then I got my other friend that's been wanting to do it since I started to join this week.
Brilliant.
So I'm on it now.
Yeah.
I think I'm seeing it more as a business and not a hobby.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's what's changed now. Like, I think after seeing them not happy and whatever else, and then now realizing that it is making me happy, that it's more of a business and not a hobby, and that obviously it's only going to grow. Yeah, like the happiness is only going to grow with the business.
Yeah.
So I think it's more like that now.
That you want to leave it's the marina, isn't it, that you're at?
Yeah.
Is that your?
I don't really want to leave it. It's just that, like, I can say to them, oh, I want less shifts, or I want this shifts, or I want that. Like next week, I said, oh, can I have January? I want more time to do the wraps. I said, I'll work all of December. Yeah. If I can have like the next couple of months. So like next week, they're only giving me 3 shifts, which is good, because then I can work it more. And as well, they're at night times. So they're giving me more night times now. So obviously I won't be able to do these, which is a bit of a shame because they put me on Tuesday, Wednesdays. Yeah. But at least I've got the days to do more things.
Yeah.
But I've got a beautician interested too.
Brilliant. Well, it will all start, honestly. It will really start to, but I think there's definitely been a change in your energy and mindset about it. And it's great.
Yeah, you can really see it, and it's like, I mean, I've been through it as well. And when you get it, it's just that buzz that you get, isn't it? You know, you can see it's happening, and there's no better feeling.
It is, and it's going to come for all of you ladies. Honestly, I promise. It will, because you're already there. You're already getting the people. You know, there's not a person on this call that isn't regularly wrapping and signing loyals to some extent. It might not be at the rate that we want to, but I feel that too. I've you know, I hear stories about the Triple Diamond who in 18 hours contacted 500 people from Italy and signed 10 of them. I mean, and apparently she signed 100 loyal customers with Hair, Skin and Nails in 1 month. 100 in 1 month.
Gosh. From Italy, though.
Say that again, sorry.
I think she's from Italy, though, originally. So I think that she's had planted connections there already.
Oh, is Claire from Italy?
No,
Is she? That's Welsh.
Oh,
And she's got a very strong Welsh accent.
Okay, then it was the girl from America that I saw
Ah,
posting on one of the international posts.
well, no. Apparently, I think it was Claire Williams that apparently got these 10 Italian distributors, and I know she told me herself that she got 100 loyals on Hair, Skin and Nails. I think she'd got 40 or 60 before it had even launched, ready to sign.
Oh my God.
I was happy that I'd got like 2. I felt like a complete success. So if ever you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm not feeling it, trust me, I feel it too. I like to hang out with her and I like to talk to her because it makes me aim for more, but it does make me feel a little bit inferior, I have to say.
Oh God. That's mental, that is.
It's mental.
Yeah.
But all I can say is that this is all that she does. And to Yellow's point, this is somebody who hasn't got children. She is pregnant now, so she is going to have a baby. So I think she's going to notice the big difference there. But, you know, she's full-time at home. It's just her on her own. So she's probably got a lot more time than the rest of us. That's how I'm consoling myself anyway. But yeah, but that's it. So has anybody got any questions?
I'm all good.
Yeah. Does everybody feel a little bit happier that they're going to be coming into January where people are now going to start to get paid and the hard work that they've been putting in is going to start paying off?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. I like that answer, Jo. That was a strong
Yes.
yes. So just don't be afraid to ask. Use your hundreds list, go through it and ask people.
Yes.
And if you have been talking to someone for a little while, just ask them, are you ready? Is it now? Are we gonna go for it now? It's not pushy. They can say no. It's not as if you're like getting their arm and twisting it behind the back and they can't say no to you. So just don't be afraid, I would say. And I think we can all challenge each other with that one. Because I've got lots of people I need to contact. So I need to be brave as well.
Yeah.
That on the scale of 1 to 10 message that we did,
That's
1,
nice,
yeah,
isn't it?
you're not, interested at all, leave me alone, and 10, I'm in, where do I sign? I think that was a great one.
Yeah.
And I got a lot, 80% of them at least replied to it.
Yeah, it is.
So it was a great one. And out of that, 6 out of my 11 that I did, 6 of them are coming to my event on Saturday.
Brilliant.
Because there were 5s. I don't know enough about it, and I've invited them all to the event, and that's them, they're all coming. So
Oh my God, that's exciting.
yeah. That's a good one. That was a good, I thought that worked well.
It did work well.
No, I don't know if I saw that one.
No, you might not have seen that one, Lisa. 'Cause I think you might have only just started when we started to do it, unless I sent it to you. I might have sent it to you.
I don't remember seeing it. Can someone send it to me?
I will do. I'll post it. Yeah, I'll pop it on the thing. But it basically said on a scale of 0 to 10, where 1 is leave me alone and 10 is where do I sign. So it gives people the option to say leave me alone.
Yeah.
But the majority of people don't say leave me alone. The majority of people come back and say, you know, either I need a bit more information, or, yeah, I'm really interested. And then it gives you the nice angle that then you can go in. And another nice thing to ask is, what's stopping you?
Mm.
So don't be afraid to ask, because the thing is, it's actually good customer service and it's good relationship building to know. Because I had a girl and she came back to me and said, my grandma's just had a stroke.
Oh gosh.
Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then you're like, do you know what? That's a really genuine reason. Well, I hope she wasn't making it up. There's all sorts out there, but it was a really genuine reason, and it just meant that I could be a bit more softer with her, and and I was like, oh, of course, not a problem. And she said, I'm genuinely interested, I just can't get my head around it at the moment. And I left her, but I did get in touch with her about the buy one get one free, and just said, look, I know you've not been in the right place, but you might be interested in this. But it just means that you can tailor the messages a little bit more as well. So if they say money, then obviously we can pre-sell the wraps. So if they've got
I've had a couple that have said that, I haven't got the money to do it. And then I've thought from listening to this that I did it myself. I'd kind of pre-sold them.
Yeah.
I knew that there was the interest out there for me to make it worthwhile me signing up for the stock ticket.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, you had the mini booster, didn't you? But
exactly.
like Yellow's girl today has just gone away and made a few phone calls and realised that she can get a few people.
Yeah.
One of the girls that I talked to in December, who gave me all her information, I'm really tempted. I'm feeling brave. I'm feeling like I should be brave, because she's ignored about 5 messages now. I've wished a happy new year. I've said, oh, hope you had a good Christmas party. Yeah. I've just kept going, and I'm almost tempted to say, have I done something to upset you? Because obviously you were really keen and you've had a great result. And see what happens. What's the worst thing that can happen?
What's the worst that she could say?
What's the worst thing that she can happen? And that she can go, you just leave me alone. And I'm like, well, all you had to do was say I'm not interested any longer. So because you haven't responded to me, I'm like,
I'm still doing it.
She had a really good result. After 45 minutes, she sent me her result, and it was really good. But I can't let people like that lie. I'm gonna have to send her something.
Yeah, that would wind me up. Yeah.
Yeah. Have I done something to upset you? I don't think that's a bad thing to say. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. And plus, I would like to know, maybe I have done something to upset her. I don't think it is. I think that she's got friends that have said don't do it.
Yeah, maybe. I genuinely
think that's what she's done. Is that somebody's put doubt in her mind. But yeah, so that's it then, ladies. So we're at 10 o'clock, so I don't like to go over an hour with you.
Well, it was a brilliant call. Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Catch you
See
soon.
you all next week.